Hey, so cousins, let's get right into it. We're doing true horror stories as always. Obviously, I am our scary tales. If you don't know about them, go find out about them. If I ain't do something that you ain't want to see, go see if they got it on the channel. They got everything on there. But if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to this video. Thank you for joining this stolen family of mine, this positive environment I am trying to create. And yeah, thank you so much for all the support. I love you guys. We're in this together. I saw you guys as family, so you guys can't do nothing because I'm your big cousin now. I'll beat you up. But love you guys. Let's get into it. 3 true Dunkin' Donuts horror stories animated. We've done McDonald's horror stories. We've done KFC. We've done Panera. We've done Chipotle. You know, I think we done Chick-fil-A, if I'm not mistaken. But if I am, I'm going to find a Chick-fil-A one and I'm going to do it. But yeah, now let's add Dunkin' Donuts to the mix. 7-Eleven got food. So I've done a 7-Eleven one. We'll throw them up in there because they do got food. Let's get into it.
I was sitting behind the counter, waiting
Look
for
at her
a
with
customer to
the
arrive.
donuts
I never
behind.
liked working the graveyard shift, but who can refuse extra money? A
Right?
tumultuous
They pay you
thunderstorm was
extra
going
for working
outside,
overnights.
making the glass doors shudder. My phone started to drain out. Once it finally switched off, I plugged it into the charger. Now I was even more bored.
You let
with
your
nothing
phone
to do,
die?
sitting in an empty Dunkin' Donuts shop. I decided to make myself a cup of coffee so that I didn't doze off on my shift. There are times when all I want is to be alone, but standing in Dunkin' Donuts that night in the middle of a thunderstorm made me feel weird. My uncle owns this shop. I go to college and work part-time here. I sat down at a corner table with a cup of coffee. The storm was getting louder and stronger. I was about to take another sip when the power went out, and at the same time, the entrance doorbell rang. Someone had entered the shop. I don't panic easily, so I said, sorry, the power went out. Please stay where you are. I somehow made my way to the counter and lit up a candle. As I lifted the candle to see ahead, a pale-faced woman appeared from the dark.
Whoa! The fuck are you
scared
doing so
me, man.
close?
She looked extremely scared
You
and
bleeding?
mysterious at
Get
the same
out.
time. Her hair was all messed up. The trousers she wore were torn in places. and
Get
her
out.
white shirt
I'll
had
call
5
12 for you while
bloodstains.
you outside.
Oh my god, what happened to you? Did you have an accident? You have to help me. I
Stay
think we
where
should
you
sit
are.
down. You seem hurt. No, we don't have much time. He'll be here any minute now.
Okay,
What?
I'll call the cops.
What are
You
you
stay where
talking
you
about?
are.
The man who's after me. He'll be here soon. You must call the cops. Is
I got
someone
you.
trying to kill you?
Why
He
are
has
you
done
so
this before.
damn
He
dumb?
won't hesitate to do it again. I've seen other bodies in his house.
She
He
just
lures women
told you.
into his trap and then kills them. I'm telling you, this guy is crazy. Please, you need to call the
Okay,
cops.
so now she really
Okay.
just told you.
Okay, I'll
So
call
call
the
the
cops
cops.
now.
Yep,
I
good
grabbed
job.
my phone, but remembered it needed charging. There was a
Oh.
payphone outside, so I looked at the woman and said, "Ma'am, I'll go out and call 911. There's a washroom at the back. Go there and clean yourself up. Don't worry, I won't let anyone hurt you." She
How you
seemed
gonna
a little
protect her?
calmed down hearing this. I watched her walk away. She had no shoes and her feet were dirty and burnt in places. It seemed from her attire that she had seen horrible days. I grabbed an umbrella and went outside. The heavy wind almost blew me away. The sharp raindrops pierced my skin. I walked to the payphone and dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency? Hello, can you hear me? Yes, ma'am, go on. I'm calling from an outlet of Dunkin' Donuts at Highway 14. I have a customer who is badly hurt. She's talking about a man chasing her and killing women. I'm scared. You've got to send some cops here.
Right
Don't
now.
panic, ma'am. Is it only the two of you inside the shop right now? Yes, she's in the washroom, and I came out to call you on the payphone nearby. Okay, get inside, lock the doors, and wait for the cops. It's storming badly, so it might take some time to reach your location. But don't panic. Help is on the way. As I disconnected the 911 call
You see
and
dude
turned
behind
around,
you.
bright headlights fell on my face. A blue truck stopped near me. Before I could see the driver, the lights came back and I ran inside the shop. My uncle kept a baseball bat behind the counter. I placed it near me so I could use it if needed when the driver of the blue truck entered the shop. A man in his late 40s with a finely shaved face and deep green eyes walked up to the counter. I could see the washroom door in the corner. The woman was coming out, but as soon as she noticed this newly arrived guest, she hid behind the door, shivering in fear.
Close the door.
Our eyes met, and she nodded her head in yes while pointing her finger at him.
Close the
So
door!
this was the guy she was talking about. I knew the cops were on their way, so all I had to do was keep him there until they arrived. I contained myself and said in a cheerful voice, "Welcome to Dunkin' Donuts. May I take your order, sir?"
It's one hell of a storm, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, at least the power came back. What would you like to have, sir?
Here, let me ask you a quick question. Is it only me and you in here?
I realized he was looking for the woman and trying to find out if she had come here or not. Yeah? Why do you ask?
Nothing. Just a general query. So, what's your name?
I was stunned to see his chilled-out attitude toward me. While asking me all these unnecessary questions, he was observing me in a very creepy way, but I didn't lose my calm. Sir, it's late, and I'm about to close the shop, so can you please tell me what you'd like to order?
Close the shop? But isn't it a 24/7 open policy?
Yes, but the shop belongs to my uncle, and now I'm in charge, so I'm asking you for the last and final time, are you going to order anything? The man's eyes ignited like a vulture. He came close to me and said,
You shouldn't be making me angry. After all, it's only you and me in here.
But before he
You
could do
mean
anything
a
more,
bat,
I picked up the
bitch.
baseball bat and hit him hard on the head. He
Good.
fell on the floor, screaming in pain while holding his bleeding head.
You bitch! Seems like you just can't wait to die like the others.
Listen, you freak! The cops are on their way, and I know who you are. I know you're looking for that woman, but this time, I'm not letting you hurt her.
Woman?
You speak too damn
Which
much.
woman?
Her! Come out, man. You don't have to be scared anymore. The woman came out, but this time, she didn't look afraid. She was smiling. As soon as she came in front of him, the man started to head back in fear. He was crawling backwards like he couldn't believe his eyes.
But...
You can see me too, huh? The question she just asked surprised me.
fuck?
Why wouldn't he see her? She's standing right in
'Cause
front of
she's
him.
a spirit.
Just then, I heard the cop cars
Stuff like
approaching
that
the
make my
shop,
head hurt.
and I yelled, "You're going to jail, you psycho freak!" The cops came in and arrested the man, but he wasn't in his sense. He fainted in fear, and the cops had to carry him to the car. I walked them out and thanked the cops for arriving at the right moment. The sheriff came to me and asked about the injured woman. I told him she was inside. We all went back, but the woman was gone. I searched the washroom, but she was nowhere to be found. While we were looking for her inside the Dunkin' Donuts shop, we heard two cops screaming outside.
Sheriff Ronald, come out! Come out! Quickly!
The sheriff ran outside, hearing them, and I too followed. The cops were standing near the blue truck, staring at it with a horrified look on their faces.
She's
As
dead
I
in the
walked
car.
close to the truck, I felt the ground sweep under my feet. My body froze, and I was out of words. At the back of the truck laid a dead woman wrapped in a black plastic sheet. I had no difficulty recognizing her. She was the same woman who entered the shop right after the power cut. The story unfolded that the man's name was Mark, and he was a serial killer. He picked up women hitchhikers and then abducted them. He kept them in his secluded cabin. There, he used to torture them and later killed them. The police found 4 bodies in his cabin. That night, he came looking for his 6th victim, me. It's a miracle that I'm still alive, but what still gives me goosebumps is that one of his dead victims came to save my life that night. Now,
What? You're
I
welcome?
understand why she asked him. You can see me too.
Don't do that to sis. She ain't look like that. Well, she probably look like that to him.
Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. If so, please leave a like. And also, a small percentage of people that watch my videos are actually subscribed. If you want to support this channel and make this channel reach the 1 million mark, please consider subscribing. It's free and you can change your mind later. Enjoy.
I work the graveyard shift at a dine-in Dunkin' Donuts. This particular Dunkin' Donuts offered free donuts and coffee to any police officer who came in as a way to thank them for their service. As a result, I grew to know just about every police officer stationed near my part of the city by name.
What happened?
Now, you recorded a video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound like you was talking to a whole person. I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Why are they cutting up in here? Cutting up.
You sound like you was talking to somebody. So I was like, wait a minute, what happened? Until you said something like dumb or something like that. Because the whole time I'm thinking that you was talking to mom. Until you said, are you dumb? You don't talk to mom like that. You ain't call her dumb. Hell no, she ain't talking to mom. Who the fuck she talking to? And it was blowing me for a second. I was like, oh my God. We was just cutting up for a second.
He's a silly.
What was going on? Until you said, are you dumb? Or something like that. I was just like, oh my God, she's not talking to mom. She can't be talking to mom.
Now I'm talking to Bubby.
Are you dumb? The money is about to get you killed.
Are you dumb? Trying to choke me through the phone.
Choke you through that damn phone.
They would have synced it up. They would have been like,
That's why I was talking. I thought you was talking to somebody, so I was making sure I forgot that you were recording.
yeah, no, these true Dunkin' Donuts horror stories. The first one was crazy already. Crazy. Oh, I think she went outside or something. Did something just stupid. She is dumb.
That's what you said, stupid.
Oh no, I said, are you dumb? Why didn't you call? Oh no, because she ain't called the cops. The girl told her to call the cops. Call the cops.
That's why I called you, because I heard you say call the cops. What the fuck is going on?
Like what?
Why are you still there?
Why are you still there letting her explain all this to you when you could have just called the cops? And then she says a whole lot more. Like, all right, now you got the information you need. Call the cops. Just dumb. I love you.
I love you more.
Bye.
Make this channel reach the 1 million mark. Please
Bye.
consider subscribing. It's free and you can change your mind later. Enjoy.
I work the graveyard shift at a dine-in Dunkin' Donuts. This
Everybody
particular
working
Dunkin'
overnight
Donuts
at
offered free
Dunkin'
donuts and
Donuts?
coffee to
Damn.
any police officer who came in as a way to thank them for their service. As a result,
And
I
it's
grew to know just about every
open
police
inside and
officer
out?
stationed near my part of the city by name. One day, I was working the counter at the Dunkin' Donuts as usual when I received a notification on my phone. It was late into the night and there was no one in the restaurant but me, so I thought it wouldn't hurt to check my phone for a bit. It was a breaking news notification about something that had happened in my city. I tapped on it and was brought to a news article of an ongoing story. According to it, a mad gunman was on the loose somewhere in the city and had already shot and killed one police officer, but had yet to be identified. Concerning news, to be sure, but I lived in a large city with millions of people, so I didn't think there was much chance of me being affected by it. Police shootings happen all the time in my country anyway, so I guess I had just grown desensitized to seeing
you
that
live
kind
to
of
it.
news. Not long after I'd read that article, I heard someone enter the Dunkin' Donuts and put my phone away. A disheveled-looking police officer, wearing a uniform that looked a few sizes too big, approached the counter, still wearing his hat and sunglasses despite it being nighttime.
He shot
Unlike
him and
most of my
stole
police
his
officer customers,
cop
I didn't recognize him.
outfit.
I assumed that he was a newbie who had a rough first night, or someone who got transferred from a different part of the city. Good evening, officer.
Girl, you
Rough
just
night?
read that breaking
You could
news.
say that.
I know how to fix you up. Hang on a moment. I immediately started boxing a variety of donuts to give him. It was the same set of 12 donuts that I gave to all police officers who came by. When I was finished, I set it on the counter. This one is on the house, officer.
Thank you, miss.
His shoulders slumped in apparent relief. Upon closer inspection, I was able to make out a large, stitched-together scar on his chin. It's the least we can do to thank you for your service. Now, how do you like your coffee?
Black, please.
Gotcha. Do you do this to go or dine in?
Dine in. I could use a break right now.
I made the officer his coffee and put it on a tray with his box of free donuts. He took the tray and made his way to the far corner of the restaurant to enjoy them. He kept his officer's hat and sunglasses on the entire time he ate for some reason. A little odd, but I wasn't about to give him grief about it. The guy seemed like he could use some peace and quiet. A little under half an hour later, a police officer I did recognize walked through the door and approached the counter looking a little worse for wear. Hey, Jim. The usual today? Jim was fond of his jelly donuts, so I made sure to pack more jelly donuts in his set whenever he came by.
Thanks, Susan, but I'm on business tonight.
Is something wrong?
Have you read the news about the gunman that's roaming about right now?
Yeah,
Oh, you about to get shot.
There have been reports that he came this way.
Jim pulled out his phone and showed me a picture of a guy in a military dress uniform.
This guy's a primary suspect right now. He's a war vet who shot a police officer during a PTSD episode.
He's enjoying his donuts right by you.
Uniform too. Does this face look familiar to you?
I squinted at the picture on his phone. The guy didn't ring any bells in my mind until I noticed the stitched-up scar on his chin. The same stitched-up scar I remembered seeing on the unknown police officer who came in before Jim. My blood ran cold when I realized the connection. But before I could warn him about the man eating donuts in the far corner, I felt my eardrums pop as a deafening bang rang throughout the restaurant. The sound made me flinch and close my eyes. When I opened them again, I saw Jim standing with a shocked look on his face and a bullet hole in his chest. I watched as he slumped onto the floor, his blood pooling under him. Standing behind him was the police officer from before, who I now knew was just a gunman in a stolen uniform. I raised my hands up in surrender, with eyes wide open in fear and my heart pounding out of my chest. Please, don't shoot! The gunman didn't even acknowledge my existence. He just turned his back on me, walked back to the corner where his box of donuts was, and continued eating with his pistol on the table. He took his sweet time eating those donuts.
Killer.
Over the course of 15 minutes, police cars came and parked outside the Dunkin' Donuts. The red and blue lights blared through the windows as a police negotiator spoke to the gunman through a megaphone. They seemed to think that the gunman was keeping me hostage, which I guess was kind of true. I was too scared to make any sudden moves while I was in the gunman's shooting range, who still had his pistol within reach. So I just stood there at the counter with my hands up the entire time, hoping he wouldn't snap and decide to shoot me on a whim. I only worked up the courage to speak near the end of his meal, when he was just finishing up the last donut in his box. "What are you doing?" The gunman popped the last donut in his mouth, calmly wiped himself with a napkin, and picked up his pistol. I thought that I was about to die. Instead, he said something that I will never forget for the rest of my life.
Finishing my last meal.
And with those final words, he put the pistol to his mouth and fired.
Oh, okay. No blur or nothing.
I've never shared this story.
You just gotta let us see that.
The memory of it disturbs me. English isn't my native language, so bear with me. I'll try my best. This story is creepy to me, but isn't the craziest story out there.
You just went through a lot.
It's just something that happened to me and my ex-best friend 3 years ago on our trip to New York. For the sake of the story, let's call him Ralph. So Ralph and I met in our first year of college. He was from California, while I was from Germany. I couldn't click with many people, so he was the only friend I had, but we never hung out before. So it was our first trip. We were laughing and drinking beer while Ralph drove the car. Empty highways surrounded by endless green fields and the bright sky. It was 5 p.m. on a summer day, so the daylight was still out there. But as we drove for half an hour or more, a patch of dark cloud covered the sky. It all got dark and lightning struck, and within the next few minutes, heavy rain started. The view outside the windshield got blurry immediately. It was becoming too difficult to see on the road outside. "Dude, I can't drive like this. We have to stop." Saying this, he slowed down the car at the side of the road. We waited inside the car for the rain to slow down. The constant sound of the wipers sweeping the glass started to irritate me. Boo! What the? Dude, look at your face. Not funny, Ralph. Where are we anyway? I don't know. There's no network here. I have to get out and see. Let the rain slow down a bit. What a weather. Out of no other option, we waited inside the car. After 10 minutes, the rain started to slow down, and we saw a vibrant light going on and off at some distance. It once turned purple, then yellow. I wiped the windshield to rub off the moisture on the glass. It was a big signboard of Dunkin' Donuts blinking at us. Thank God, I was so hungry. Let's go inside. I too was relieved that for the night we got a roof over our head, because it would have been difficult to find the right way, because I was sure we were lost. We got out the car. I closed my door and turned around to see an ugly-looking black dog standing out there.
Get back in.
One of his eyes was closed, and his teeth were broken. His chunks of hair were missing from his body. We realized it was living its last days. I slowly walked past it when the dog growled in a low voice. Ralph and I turned back. The dog was standing near our car, Its one leg was close to the tire, giving the proper vibe that it's going to pee on our tire. Hey, Shoo! Shoo! Go away! Let it be. I think it's a mad dog. He's going to ruin my car. Shoo! Shoo!
Well, you're gonna get bit by
Ralph
a
tried
rabid
to scare
dog.
off the dog, but the dog still peed on the tire. Being all angry and frustrated, he picked up a rock from the ground and threw it, aiming at the dog's head. The rock did hit the dog, and with a short, squeaky sound, everything got silent.
What?
I was completely disgusted to see this scenario. Ralph casually went to the car, moved its body using a stick, and came back to me. Let's go. I didn't say anything, probably getting a bit disturbed after seeing this. We went inside the donut shop. Ralph went to order coffee and some donuts while I sat at the chair. The empty high road was standing out there, quietly. There was a lamp post at the corner. I kept staring at it when a tall, bony man came out from the dark and stood under it. He was wearing a brown hat, old brown coat,
hopefully he's not looking for
trousers.
his dog.
Nothing was striking
Ralph
in his
killed him.
appearance except his face. His one eye was closed with a broken set of teeth, just like that dog.
Yep.
His eyes were so bright that they glowed. He wasn't blinking, just standing there, staring at me. I wasn't able to take my eyes off him until Ralph called out to me. Leon, I'm having a latte. What will you have? Huh. Yeah, same for me. When I looked back at the lamppost, the man was gone. I searched around, but didn't see him. A few moments later, the rain started again, and Ralph came back with the food. I quietly drank my coffee, while Ralph went on blabbering about how he had no other way than killing the dog. All of a sudden, the shop door opened, and to my shock, that dog-faced man walked in. Ralph followed my eye and noticed the man too. Damn! Isn't that guy? Looks like that dog, yes. The man walked to the counter and handed the employee a dirty $10 bill. The employee seemed casual about it, though. He gave him a cup of coffee and some donuts. The man picked up his food and sat right next to us. Ralph and I looked at each other and started to eat the donuts. We knew we were stuck here for a while, so it will be better to avoid any more trouble. We were eating silently when a loud smacking sound took place. I realized it was the man eating the donuts.
Ew.
I looked at him and he started eating more aggressively. He was shoving the donuts inside his mouth and crushing it with his dirty, bony hands. What the hell he eating like that? I don't know. I think we should leave. What? It's still raining outside. I can't drive in such weather. It's too risky. Fine, then just be quiet until he leaves. The man finished all the donuts and then gave me a big smile. There were chunks of chewed donuts hanging in his broken teeth. I immediately turned my face away from him to prevent myself from vomiting. The man got up and then walked out the door. We exhaled a sigh of relief that finally that creep is gone. The rain went on for a few minutes more and then finally stopped. We too came out of the Dunkin' Donuts outlet and started to walk back to our car.
Did he mess up your car?
I have only taken a step or two when Ralph grabbed my hand and said, "Did you hear that?" "Hear what? What are you saying?" "Quiet! Listen." I listened carefully, and then I heard it. Someone or something was growling at us from the darkness.
Is it the
We
guy?
increased our pace and started walking faster. We were about to get in the car when a big rock came flying at Ralph, and he moved back in reflex. The rock missed him and shattered the driver's side window,
He's a
creating
killer.
a loud
We know
noise.
he's a killer. He kills
The
dogs.
Dunkin' Donut employee came out hearing it. We didn't move an inch, as we weren't expecting something like this at all. The employee asked, "What happened?" Just then, a howl came from the darkness, and we saw that man jumping from a bushy tree and then disappearing into the darkness again. "What the hell is wrong with that guy?" "Oh, him. He is only a nut job. Calls himself some famous magician. He says he can turn into any animal." "What?" "Yeah, but he doesn't do anything until you bother him." "How are you not freaked out by this guy?"
Because he ain't bother him.
I used to be, but then we kind of got along. He comes in, hands money, eats his food, and leaves. Honestly, he never bothered me. Anyways, drive safe, you guys. Good night. Visit again if you come by this way. Maybe then I can make you his friends." The donut guy went back, and we were completely clueless after hearing this guy. Friend? Who wants to befriend a creepy homeless man that looks like a psycho? Ralph and I are not in contact anymore. But last year, I read a pretty weird story in the newspaper. The story was a homeless guy murdering a boy in a Dunkin' Donut shop during his graveyard shift. The boy was 22 years old, said to have been working there for a year. The police couldn't find this man. They only found CCTV footage. In that footage, this man can be seen entering the shop and then grabbing the boy's neck and breaking it while staring at the camera.
He's just said that he wasn't a killer.
Who roams the highway at night. To some people, he claimed himself to be a famous magician. He also told that he had this weird power of turning himself into any animal, mostly to a black dog. The police are sure that this man is nothing but a psycho murderer, making all these bullshit stories to save himself. But they are going to find him soon and put him behind bars. What do you think? Was he a dog or a man?
Dog right now.
Or someone who can turn into both?
I know I'm upset that he killed the Dunkin' Donuts guy after he just had so much high faith in him. These were good. The first two stories, fire. That last one was good too, but dog man, an old boy killing dogs. That's crazy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you know more people that do horror animations other than IMR Scary Tales and SSG animations, feel free to comment them. But as of now, those are my top two that I go to get the videos from. But yeah, suggestions in the comments. Thank you guys for joining me. And until next time, guys, bye.